Hello, all my lovely subscribers and followers, and welcome to any newcomers. It's Maggie the Irish Gypsy bringing you your February 2024 general readings. We're looking at roughly the first half of February, from the 1st to the 15th, time always being a little fluid, of course. This is for the fire sign of Leo, Leo Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Watch all of your sign placement videos for any additional insight and perspective. It's a general reading, so it may not resonate in its entirety for everyone. Take what resonates and is helpful and leave the rest. For those of you who are interested in a personal reading with me, you can email me at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. You can also see that email address attached to the title or description of this video. I do offer a lot of different types of readings of all different lengths and costs, and there's something in there for everyone. Still pretty popular right now are the 6 and 12-month overviews, which a lot of people like to order at the end of one year and the beginning of another. Although you can order them any time of the year, they simply explore what's coming into your life over the next 6 or 12 months from the time of the reading. So something to keep in mind. All right, let's move right into this reading and see what the first half of February 2024 looks like for our lovely Lions. I am using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with the Radiant Rider Waite. Okay, we begin with the High Priestess. Connection to spirit, intuition, with the Eight of Swords. Perhaps feeling a bit trapped by external circumstances, or that's your perspective anyway. Next, we have the Two of Swords, needing to make an important, significant decision, but perhaps feeling a bit stuck. There may be some reluctance or resistance in this card with looking at the truth of something. With the 10 of Coins or Pentacles, the 10 of Earth, long-term stability and security. It can represent financial material issues, can represent home and family issues as well, or a combination of them. Next, we have Strength, your card. Facing fears, doubts, insecurities, looking at your responsibility or the part that we all have to play in situations, meaning owning our own decisions, both past, present, and future. It can take a lot of strength, courage, wisdom, and humility to do that, but it's also qualities you gain more of by going through that process. With the Page of Wands, new beginnings, kind of the new fresh spark of energy and inspiration on a new path. From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy for the first half of February, Leo, is the Seven of Wands. This is a card of standing your ground, standing up for yourself, defending, protecting, perhaps being challenged. And I'm all for being challenged because it can do a couple of different things. It can help us define and firm up our own convictions in something, or it can cause us to re-examine and possibly set something aside when we feel it isn't, perhaps something isn't working anymore. So let's clarify that overall energy. Actually, I'm going to start with the High Priestess. We have this combination of cards here, the High Priestess and the Eight of Swords. With the High Priestess, there's something that you feel compelled towards, some kind of deeper meaning or insight that you're getting here, a way forward to kind of liberate yourself from some kind of prison, or what you may be telling yourself is an inescapable situation, or that you can't because of external circumstances, or you can't because of this, you can't because of that, you can't because of the other thing. I mean, fill in the blank, right? Swords is governed by the element of air, which governs our mind, our intellectual landscape. This is the suit of swords is about ideas and perspectives and ideologies and belief systems and how we look at things, because that directly affects what we tell ourselves and believe our reality to be, and how we act or react to those things, right? So this is feeling trapped perhaps by external circumstances, internal thoughts and ideas, but you really can free yourself. And the High Priestess here is saying that there's some kind of, something way down deep inside of you in your intuition, which is your connection to spirit, that's telling you that there is, in fact, a way forward to liberate yourself. So let's clarify that. High Priestess. Well, yeah, the Three of Pentacles. This is a card of teamwork, collaboration, compromise, and negotiation. Sometimes mediation between people who are arguing with each other about the best way forward in something. It's about getting everybody together on the same page, working towards the same goal, whether you like each other or whether you don't. So it's a card of compromise and negotiation, which means, compromise and negotiation means that not everybody gets everything that you want, but you decide on what's the most important. You kind of leave the rest aside in order to move forward. Let's take a look at this Eight of Swords. What's keeping you feeling like you can't make changes or can't move forward? Typically, the reasons we give ourselves are fear-based. The Eight of Swords. Sorry, we're clarifying the Eight of Swords with the Tower. So this is what you're telling yourself is keeping you trapped, or what you're fearing, right? In terms of external circumstances, it can represent a variety of things. This is a general reading for some of you. This could be in a work money situation. It could be in a relationship situation, a combination of both. Maybe you're afraid that you'll have to move. Maybe you're afraid that you won't have enough money. The Tower represents, some inescapable, great, big, huge event which will come in and change your life. A lot of people potentially change your life anyway. A lot of people kind of go, when this Tower card comes up, technically it just represents a spirit-driven, perhaps unexpected event or something that occurs that puts you on a completely different path. It can be a challenging card because often, not always, but often it represents the breaking down of something, or the complete and total shaking up of something that was flawed from the beginning, so that you can move forward and build something truly solid, stable, and secure. But here, this is what's holding you back. This is what's keeping you from kind of hearing and or listening to your intuition. Basically that everything is going to blow up and it'll be awful and terrible and I'll never recover from this. On a specific path, it might mean, again, moving or relocating. It might be, but what's keeping you trapped is this idea that if I move forward on this new thing, because it's pretty clear here that there's a new path in front of you, a new option, something that has to be decided on. But you're afraid that it'll be the end of all good things, right? We move on here to the next two cards, which is the Two of Swords and the Ten of Coins. So both of these cards together represent a pretty significant decision that needs to be made that may affect finances, material issues, family, or some combination of both of those things. And you may be feeling perhaps a bit stuck. Again, you may be worried that this decision you make will cause chaos. It may be the right decision. Everything is going to blow up and fall apart. But kind of like with that Eight of Swords, the Two of Swords, there's kind of an issue in here of reluctance or resistance to looking at something head on, acknowledging something head on, because if you do, then there's no more excuses, right? Then it's time to make decisions and choices and own those decisions and choices, regardless of what they are. So let's clarify that. Let's clarify the Two of Swords. The Ten of Pentacles, again, which is the same as the Ten of Coins, which is already with it. So there's a strong focus here on security, long-term security and stability. This can be financial and material security, your money, where you live. It could be family too, something that affects family, a combination of all of those energies. Let's take a look at that Ten of Coins, Ten of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. Independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment, financial, material, and emotional and psychological. The Eight of Wands is the card of fast movement, action, travel, powerful movement forward. I think this represents what you want and also what you're afraid you will lose. Because again, it feels like there is a choice in front of you to be made, a decision in front of you to be made. You're kind of at a fork in the road or a crossroads. Something is pressing on you to move in a different way, but what's holding you back is kind of in here. And it's not to say that, the source of your fears and doubts and concerns are invalid or unrealistic or illusional. It just means that you're stuck on the worst possible outcome happening. It may be that you're afraid that if you make this decision and move forward, you're going to end up poor, sitting on the curb with a can in your hand, homeless, or having to rely on the kindness of strangers. Maybe you feel like you'll lose your independence and self-sufficiency, both mental, emotional, financial, and material. Maybe you won't have freedom of movement anymore. You won't be able to travel anymore. It may be for some of you, if this is related to the job or work sector or business sector, it may be that you feel compelled to maybe start moving in a different path because you feel like where you're at for some reason isn't right for you or isn't right for you anymore. And you feel like, it feels like you feel compelled, this inner sense of pressure to move into a new direction. But you may be telling yourself, yeah, but I won't be able to have the same kind of money. I won't be able to have the same kind of independence. I won't be able to travel. I won't be able to, fill in the blanks here. But yet the decision still remains in front of you. I mean, it could be relationship too, or it could be a combination of all of those things. Again, this is a general reading, so it may mean one thing for one Leo. It may mean another area of life for another Leo. For some Leos, it might be a combination of things, but the fundamental energy remains the same. This kind of fork in the road, feeling a bit stuck because it's such a significant decision. Let's take a look at Strength and the Page of Wands. Strength and the Page of Wands, again, is it's moving forward on a new path. It's having a fresh sense of energy and excitement and initial momentum with the Page of Wands to go down a new path, to start something new. It could initially be starting off as a path of learning, of education, or maybe kind of starting off at the bottom or beginning to learn, because the pages have that kind of student apprentice energy. But again, strength implies that there's a challenge in that. It's facing that. It's facing that and still maintaining the ability to move forward. Let's clarify strength. That's your card, Leo. King of Wands, Seven of Wands. So King of Wands can be you, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. It might be another earth sign, another fire sign that's relevant to you, Leo, male or female. This is a general reading. With the Seven of Wands, which is our overall energy. The Seven of Wands is, feeling challenged and trying to figure out how you're going to deal with that challenge. Are you going to dig your heels in to stay on the path that you have been on? Or are you going to go, this new path has merit, even though it scares me, and I'm afraid by taking this, it's going to have all these consequences. So again, it's that sort of fork in the road energy. Let's clarify the Page of Wands. It looks like an exciting new path, though. It just would represent a very significant choice. And an impact on you and perhaps, home and family as well. Page of Wands. We have the Page of Wands clarified by the Page of Wands again, and the Ace of Swords. So aces represent number one, of course, the start of something new, a new path. So this is the Ace of Air, right? The Ace of right here. So this is seeing things in a brand new perspective, the veil being lifted, seeing the truth, the perspective, the reality of what is. It's the opportunity to start down a new path based in truth and reality. Even if that initial truth and reality, meaning what you have to look at, which is difficult to look at, or we might be reluctant or resistant to looking at it here in the Two of Swords. This is like seeing it. And where you're at, because it feels like you feel compelled to move into a new direction, which means that the place that you're at, even though it's provided you with a lot of perhaps freedom and comfort or whatever, and it's not to say you'll lose that moving forward, but things would change, of course. Sometimes when that Ace of Swords energy comes in and we all of a sudden see everything kind of laid out, the truth of everything, sometimes there's aspects of it we don't always want to look at, right? The hard truth, right? But also it's a blessing because in that energetic space, we have the opportunity to take that and to make different and better decisions moving forward to create a healthier reality for ourselves. That goes back to, that High Priestess and Eight of Swords. This High Priestess knows intuitively that there is a way forward to liberate yourself. It feels like you're in some kind of, I don't know, job, work, business thing, relationship, or something that maybe ties it all together. And you feel compelled, you feel like maybe it's not the best path for you and it's time for you to move forward. But you've gotten perks on this path that you're afraid will completely disappear, or, that there will be much hardship moving forward, that it might hurt you, it might hurt the family, or, what is the best decision to make here? So let's take a look at that overall energy of the Seven of Wands, that standing your ground or defensive. It's a card of being challenged and standing your ground, being determined, being persevering. And this can be a positive thing. This can be a negative or challenging thing as well if we're defending the wrong thing. Perhaps it was something that needed to be defended in the past and no longer does. Maybe it's time to move away from this, because it really does feel like Spirit may be compelling you in a different direction here. All right. Ace of Wands, brand new beginning, exciting new beginning, Wheel of Fortune, change. But change that typically brings good luck and good fortune, even if you can't see it right now. It feels like the transitional struggle of being caught in that in-between place where it's like, I really feel like it's time for me to move on from this thing, but this thing has been comfortable. It's been good to me in these ways. It's been comfortable, and I'm afraid of the change. I'm afraid of what that change might mean because I don't know what it's going to mean, and it really comes kind of back down to, again, the High Priestess, which is a difficult energy to follow because it requires walking in faith, even if we can't see more than one step in front of us. Spirit never pulls us in another direction, even if the leaving or the transition is hard. That doesn't lead to our eventual joy and abundance, but it can be quite difficult when, because Spirit doesn't always say, okay, here's your Google map, here's your GPS, this is all the stops you're going to be making along the way, and everything's all laid out and pretty in front of us, nothing to be afraid of, right? I mean, that's just not the way it works most of the time. So, it's a path that requires strength and walking in faith. So, let's end with some advice, guidance, feedback from Spirit. Any messages from Spirit that might help you move through this fork in the road. The Ace of Pentacles. So Spirit's advocating for the new path, the beginning of the new path. I mean, we've got three aces. We've got the Ace of Wands, of fire, of passion and inspiration and drive. The Ace of Swords, which is, true seeing, true sight, clarity, illumination. The Ace of Pentacles, which is the Ace of Earth. So this has more logistical aspects to it. It can be, new job, new projects, moving, relocating, a practical or logistical new beginning, or a combination of all of those things. So Spirit is advocating for the new path. Page of Swords, doing your research, gathering your research, learning, being that student. And the Knight of Pentacles, Knights representing offers and opportunities, the speed at which situations move. This is the Knight of Earth. He's not quite as fast as the other Knight, but the other Knights, because he's driven by Earth rather than fire, air, or water, but he always crosses the finish line. He always accomplishes his mission and quest. Cautious, detail-oriented, hardworking, one step at a time, getting there, right? I call the Knight of Pentacles my steady Eddie, right? So Spirit is advocating for this new path. You know, it's a careful step by step, doing it in a practical, clear-minded way. There's a path to going through that. If there's any people along the way or involved in this that you feel there might be difficulty about, I mean, Spirit is saying that there's compromise and negotiation available here as well. All right, I think I will leave it there. Leo, that is your general reading for the first half of February. I hope you enjoyed it, found it useful, helpful, gave you something to chew on. And moving forward, again, if this did resonate with you, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. It really does help. And again, for those of you interested in a personal reading with me, please email me at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. You can see that contact info attached to the title and description of this video. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the mid-month readings. Stay safe, stay well, and I hope that you continue to have a smooth transition into this new year. Bye-bye.